So, Gameloft may have messed up their drive syndicate, but at least you get a cool car hunt, which is short and sweet for the Nissan Leaf Nismo. A very strange D-ranked car with crazily low-looking stats. But yeah, the 2x2 packs here with the 60 packs to be opened. Yeah, just be careful not to click on the skip button. I've seen people already, like, if you tap that, there's no confirmation button on that. Just immediately spends 15 tokens. But yeah, those can be raced out with pretty much any of the higher up cars in the cars that are available, because they don't have a class requirement. So the Lotus Elise, say for example, can do those with touch drive and no input whatsoever required. It is just a case of leave the car run and do its thing. Now, so with these three dedicated blueprint cars, those times are incredibly tight with this. And given the fact that these are the lowest rated cars in the game, the Mitsubishi Lancer, BMW Z4, and the Camaro LT, like, you really need to be kind of slow and steady for those. The cars will provide the slow, you just need to bring the steady. So just yeah, you're using, like I said, it's very first three cars that you're going to have in your garage. You'll probably want them as close as possible to gold to be able to farm these leaf blueprints, but yeah, they're not exactly like free blueprints at all. Even though those cars are freely available, you will need them to be pretty much charged up to their best. You want to be avoiding coming in contact with the leaves that are on the track as much as possible, and yeah, just keeping the cars like not on any of the high flying routes that are available on this path. You'll find that if you bring these cars up into the air, they generally tend to just lose speed. So what you want to do is just on this first ramp, yeah, imperfect nitro off this and bring the car up to its blisteringly fast max speed. Try and avoid drifting as much as possible in this thing. It really doesn't do it well to drift. You'll find that if you do like just try and take the corners as tight as possible with regular steering instead of drift, you will not lose too much speed. Careful of the car on the left here before the ramp. Look for some near miss nitro, but again imperfect while you're in the air. And again, just all the time turning to the right here, but no drifting whatsoever, especially not in the Lancer. Just doesn't handle that well. And yeah, across the line, like, it is possible to do it on, like I said, nice steady path, but just with a second and a half to spare there. And yeah, like, yeah, you could do this probably in a bit of a less tuned car if you take a really stable pathway down along there, but definitely just avoid going up on too many ramps, because that thing just doesn't like it. And one thing that's awesome, at least with these, is the fact that yeah, there is a lot of blueprints to be had from these. Really cool. So like yeah, there's tons of rewards here. The drop rates for these packs seems to be about the 50% mark. So like, that's really nice with the car. So yeah, get myself the car unlocked, which is going to be where I'm going to be using the upgrades for the next couple of weeks, because yeah, this one's available for the next 8 days, so I'm not going to sprint through powering up this car. I am just going to use this one for those tuning pieces and actually applying like imports, and yeah, applying the import parts and upgrades every day, which is really class for me. Now, BMW Z4 E89, effectively the same thing. Like, these low power cars really like just get punished if you try and do too much of the high flying stuff. They're not drift machines, they're not high flying skills and stunts. It's just, you'll find it works out best if you just keep the car, yeah, hit the ramps that you need to, but do not drift on corners at all, because if you drift on corners with these things, they will just absolutely like shave away that time, the speed, I mean, way too quickly. Nitroing a bit, but keeping some for imperfecting off the first ramp. Again, just exact same path, just try and keep it as stable as possible. No drifting at all around here, and just keeping to the lower route. Tiny drift here, just to get around that corner. Shockwave with the nitro. Just building up nitro again here for the small bit of imperfect just to get this car up off the ground here, just because of the fact that, yeah, these things are heavy and not particularly fast. So you just absolutely, like, cannot be drifting with them too much. And like I said, on ramps and the likes, they just absolutely burn off that speed. Speed? That's an exaggeration. Yeah, like, the timings that they've given for these, like 51 seconds, incredibly tight. If you do try and go up along the top route, you might find yourself having an awful lot of trouble in these cars. And I find it, it's just generally a case of, like, they don't handle, like, those stunts and tricks and stuff very well. So if anything, like, you'll find it probably penalizing your time quite a lot more. The awesome thing is, like, that drop rate, so cool. Actually, like, really nice amount of blueprints for this car, which is handy because, like I said, the recent events haven't been exactly too generous, shall we say. Last one, shortest time, Camaro LT. Again, 1,500 rating at absolute gold. Not a powerhouse, and again, another car that just does not handle well with drifting. If you see what I mean, just watch your speedometer, by the way, if you're having trouble with this, and if you're trying, like, a drift in certain corners. Watch your actual speed and watch how it'll probably drop down to somewhere around 110, 120 miles an hour. And these cars just do not have the nitro abilities to try and get back that speed unless you have a shockwave nitro. Is the only real way you're going to be restoring their speed. The nitro with these ones is mostly just a case of, for defensive purposes, they're getting away that leaf with a double tap, or off these jumps with an imperfect, just to launch yourself forward as much as possible. But again, like here, I'm just going to take low route, nice and steady the whole way around, and adrift here just because of the fact of how tight that corner is, and you shockwave nitro to just get back up as much as possible. Anyway, it's 176. This one's slightly more capable than the first two at least, but, like, at the same time, you do not want to be pressing that drift button effectively at all if you can avoid it. Nice, easy corners. These things do not handle any kind of drifting too well. But yeah, like, again, they're there. That's a 1 second. Yeah, 1.5 seconds or so below the time. Might be possible with 1 star missing off that car. Again, if you're trying these things with any amount of flair, just that will punish you with them, if anything. So I'd say, like, just be careful. Keep your car as low and steady as possible. Because, yeah, you will just end up, like, burning off more and more time if you actually try and go on those upper path with this car. Especially those first three. They're just absolutely not designed for it. Now, just regarding the rest of the farming in this one, like I said, I'm using the Lotus Elise for this, and you can just leave it run away in the background. No controller input required whatsoever. It is just a case of leave the car there and it'll farm you 4 packs per run. The Nissan Leaf itself is a pretty strange one. It does have the lowest top speed of any car in the game. It is the first one of the cars where it gets an electric boost. So this car and the Vanda Electric's A-Class car, both of these electric cars feature this a new type of boost whereby in a perfect boost state they get, like, this Nismo Leaf gets an 11% speed boost when it's in that perfect nitro state. Admittedly, 11% isn't amazing, but it's just a case of, it's one of the few exceptions to that rule that I mentioned in a few different videos of mine, whereby, yeah, the car's nitro state is normally the exact same speed as the, like, in all of the nitro states. So it doesn't matter if you're in yellow, blue, orange, or shockwave, the top speed doesn't change in any of the other cars. The Leaf and the Vanda Electrics are both different. The Vanda's is 3% faster in the blue nitro state, because that car actually has a top speed. But the Nissan Leaf, its top speed isn't great, but it can be made slightly less awful using the blue nitro state. So yeah, if you're giving this one a try over the next few days, definitely check it out. The blueprints for this also came onto the global version of the store in the Legends store. So if you're considering spending some tokens on the blueprints for this one. You may be able to get them at certain garage levels later on through the Legends store. And again, I would just advise maybe giving this one a drive before you consider actually spending tokens on it. It's a cool looking car, but from the terms of the top speed and performance and stuff, outside of events which actually need this one in particular, you're not probably going to be using this for multiplayer or for any quick races. What did I manage to get out of these? I do love the drop rate from that. Nice bit of farming that you can do quite easily, and that's crazy. That's like a 50% drop rate. It even goes so. Yeah, just I would say farm this one out because like yeah, it's quite an easy farm for the higher up cars that you're available there, but definitely farm those blueprints as fast as you can just to yeah, lock those in and get that event out of the way, especially when the try-in event is coming tomorrow. I believe it is. The try-in starts off again, so you're going to be burning your tickets that way. Alright guys, sub button up there for me, indie rowdy up there where I look at indie games on the Switch, and there's other content for me here. As always, thanks for watching, good luck and drive safe guys.